Ness. Let's go.
Let's go.
Eagles
Finally, we get to
W.
talk
Eagles
some
W.
football.
Victory Tuesday. We've been recording on a Tuesday, so it's got to be Victory Tuesday. How you feeling?
I'll let you go, Jess.
Yeah,
Justin trying to keep a straight face. I see.
I'm
What's
not trying
up?
to keep it. I'm just enjoying it while it's here because I don't know what to think moving forward. I'm just enjoying the wins as they come.
So Eagles win. They beat the Cleveland Browns at home. Get the bad taste out of our mouth from losing to the Falcons at the home opener. They won 20-16. Moved to 3-2, which is second in the division behind the Manders. Jalen Hurts 16-25, 264, two tutties. Saquon came back down to earth. Only had 47 on the ground, and he added a couple catches through the air.
Okay, this
AJ
week is
Brown,
Saquon week.
baby. Can we clap it up for AJ Brown one time? The Eagles finally, you know what I was thinking about when I was like watching the game is like all the years that we just didn't have a number one. We were like, if we could have like an Odell Beckham or like Antonio Brown or whoever, Julio Jones, like at the
You
time,
guys don't even know the half. Like, you guys don't even really remember the half. Like, can you imagine if McNabb had A.J. Brown and Devontae
mm,
Smith? Oh, my goodness. All those
and you
years
can
we could
feel
never
it.
make it over the hump. All those would have been championships.
And boy, does it make a difference. I mean,
Goodness.
You telling
like,
me?
if that wasn't the case in point that you needed a bona fide number one receiver, then I don't know what would be because A.J. Brown caught two absolutely crucial balls, deep balls that I think were the difference in the game, honestly. The touchdown on a 3rd and 3 to, separate us a little bit, give us a little bit of breathing room, and then obviously to ice the game, caught another 45-yarder that just, put the game on ice. And not easy catches either. I don't know if
I
y'all,
mean,
like,
they're good throws.
I mean, they were good throw, and I'll say that it was good throw, good catch. But I mean, not easy catches either one. Like the first one, the touchdown was pretty good defense, honestly, and then the second one, he actually had to stop and like come back to it, and he caught it like
So
a
to
basket.
me, that's the thing that makes him so good is that I don't think a lot of people will realize that. I feel like a lot of receivers in that situation with a ball thrown like that would just stop and try and make it a jump ball. I think AJ Brown has such good ball skills that he has like the body control, hand-eye coordination to like kind of slow it down and track it to still be over the shoulder so that the defender doesn't have that much of a chance at it. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
that's like clear. If he's throwing that ball to Dotson is like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Dotson, he'll try and jump up in the air and turn and try and catch it and let the defender make a play on it. I
and
think the
even
fact that,
Smitty.
yeah, even maybe Smitty, but I think the fact that he slowed down like that and kept the defender on his back so he can just keep, you know what I'm saying? So he
We
can
could basket catch. Yeah,
give himself the best chance at it. That's just like, it's a little thing that people might not notice, but that's like elite level wide receiver play.
they just see a catch, but they don't know the.
I saw elite. I saw his strong hands. They tried to knock the ball out of his hands. They just held on to it. I saw elite. I saw elite.
Mm.
I love that I
But go ahead.
saw the kid play dance in the end zone when they made the touchdown. I love to see Jalen having fun with his teammates. Um,
Needed that. Needed
yeah,
that.
I mean, I feel like I listen to social media. I read social media. I listen to the radio and all this stuff. I know the buzz of the city. And nobody's really talked about football at all yet this week after the win. Everybody's pissed off about the antics, and we'll talk about that later. But I just want to say that I'm glad to be on here talking football with you guys. I was happy to see my team out there having fun. I was happy to see Jalen not turn the ball over, not even come close to turning the ball over. Um, I was just
Hallelujah.
I was happy to see the
Hallelujah.
defense playing with some angst and some like grit and just being out there. BG was out there talking smack and Q was pissed off that CJ was stealing his pick. You know what I mean? Like they just
That's what I
was
was gonna
out there
say.
balling.
I was cracking up at that, because like he couldn't even be happy. He was like, "Dog, come
He
on!"
looked
You could tell how
directly at
bad
him
he
too. He
wanted
was
that
like,
pick.
"Yo, like y'all getting on me about catching the ball? Let me catch it."
And he like you could see it because he like tried to he made sure he was okay. You know what I mean? Because I think CJ was on
Mm.
the ground like himself, like, "Oh God, that should have been a pick." And he was tight, and then he was like, "Oh crap, is he hurt?" Then when he realized he wasn't hurt, he was like, "Nah, man, come on, dog." That was my pick. I was like, "Yo, that was tough." But yeah, no, not goose egg, but no touchdowns allowed. That's hard to do in
Yeah,
the NFL. I
yeah.
mean,
So I
I
was
wouldn't say
happy
it
to
was a
see my
perfect
my
game.
guys out there having fun. Like they're a young team, you know what I mean, and they have a lot of pressure on a tough city fan base and stuff like that. That they take a lot of criticism, and win or lose, they take criticism. So I was glad to see them out there at home, just having fun, playing ball, and they won the game, And everybody say, oh, they struggled. It was a tie game in the fourth quarter against the low Cleveland Browns. And yes, their offense is horrible, but their defense is not bad. I've had their defense on my fantasy team all this time, and they've been holding me down. Like, their defense is good.
Well, you got to drop that in, huh?
Well, I took them off this week to play the
Mine's
Eagles. Yeah.
mine's team in
Damn.
the HFL is kind of lethal, bro. You seen it?
Yo, I don't even want to talk about that, but I just thought that was funny. I actually tried to drop that Easter egg in there. Like, oh, my fantasy team had them, so no, they nice.
Their
Yeah, all right.
HFL team is kind of lethal. I'm kind of sick.
All right, yeah, nah, she's nice. But no, I mean that's. I think I said it last week. I'll say it again. It's never as good as it looks. It's never as bad as it looks. I think I'm definitely happy they got the win, and I think if you watched the game yesterday, again, I always like to use the Monday nights, but you can see that good teams find a way to win and bad teams find a way to lose. You watched that game yesterday, the New York Jets had every opportunity to win the game, every single one, and just let it slip through their fingers every time. So, I mean, I'm happy they got the win, but my takeaway from the game, like the theme of how I feel, is I'm not ready to call us a contender anymore.
Told
And I
you.
say that only because we played to the level of our comp, and I don't like that. The rest of the division already played the Browns, and you saw the Cowboys dismantled them, the Commanders dismantled them. The Giants beat them, and it looked kind of similar to how our game looked, where it was like a tug of war almost. And like, if you watch that game, the Giants actually looked like the better team for the majority of the game, and they ended up winning. But I don't like that it was a competitive game for 60 minutes with the Cleveland Browns, who are clearly just, they're having a tough year. So
Well,
I don't even want to think that deep into it. They won.
they won.
AJ
see
Brown,
But
that?
and
who?
also
Jalen who?
I listened to Jordan Mailata today. And they asked him, they were like, why the slow starts? Why haven't we scored any points in the first quarter and all that stuff? And he said with this team, actually playing the Cleveland Browns, their game plan was to start slow because they have a lot of our former guys on their coaching staff. They have Deuce over there. They have the defensive guy, and they wanted to know what they knew. So they were just trying things like to see how much of their game plan they knew before they really got started rolling. You can see it changed in the second half. Like it seemed like everything was different after the second half. So they finally started moving the ball and everything. I thought that was a good point. It made sense to
Wow.
me.
I might need to hear that out of his mouth.
And that is a terrible
Listen
answer. If
to
he really said that, then I
he
am
did.
not.
He said that he wanted to know what they
this
knew.
this might
They
be a
have
game of
Deuce over
telephone
there.
right here.
Is he okay, Marata? Or he's gonna miss
He
time,
said
right?
he's sore. Yeah, he said he's gonna miss at least a couple games.
Okay.
At least
But
a
he's
couple
not
games.
like out
But
for the season or anything. It looked
no,
bad. They
no,
carted
no,
him
no,
off
no.
and all that.
It's
Okay.
a hamstring. But they said it's like rare for a guy his size that shows his athleticism because hamstrings
That he
aren't
didn't, yeah,
normal.
because it looks
Yeah.
bad. It looks really bad.
No, yeah, she was saying that it's rare for somebody that size to get a hamstring though, because yeah, they don't
And
really
that's
push their
they,
body like that.
yeah.
And so he was talking about his replacements and stuff like that, and they were saying like how hard is it to switch sides in that position. He was like, it's really hard. It's like trying to wipe your butt with your non-dominant hand. And, like it's just awkward feeling. So, and that's the example he used. I'm not being disgusted. That's what he said, so that so people can understand. But anyway, he said they should be all right though. It'll be a couple of weeks maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel you. I'll say, like, to me, it felt like the Browns lost that game more than the Eagles won it. But I get the sense that the Eagles are going to be the type of team this year where they're going to play to the level of their competition no matter what. Like, if they play a bad team, they're going to play, like, because like, you can kind of hear it even when you watch the interviews. They're like, no win in the NFL is easy, and every team's good, and they've got some good players on that side. And I feel like when you do that, you almost, like, allow them to believe that it's going to be a competitive game, and then, you end up with situations like this. But I also think that on the flip side, the team is talented enough where if we play the Chiefs or, you know what I mean, a playoff team, it's still gonna be competitive. They're gonna kind of turn it up. I would
And I feel
just
like
say I
that's
My
like.
thing, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go
Mark.
ahead, Justin. Go ahead, Justin.
My thing is like I still don't even really know how talented we are defensively. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, I don't even want to look that deep into it. You're talking about I don't think we're an elite team. I don't even want to look that deep into it because we've literally seen two different defenses every single week without fail. Good game, bad game. Good game, bad game. You know what I'm saying? So I have no idea what to make of the defense. Offensively, yeah, we have more of a grasp on that. And, as long as the quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, I think we could be fine offensively. But it's just like, I don't know what to expect defensively moving forward. And like I said, when we play well, I'm going to just enjoy it. I'm not going to make any statements about it anymore. I'm not going to make any future, you know what I'm saying, predictions because I just don't know what to expect. Like they've beaten the life out of me as far as expectations. So I'm just enjoying them as they
Well, I
come.
definitely don't think it's an elite defense. So I think we can rule that one out. I think best case scenario, we're a top 15 unit that can turn the ball over.
They're average.
Secondary to me is kind of solid, and like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the season our secondary is the stronger unit than the front four. You know
They're
what
I
I
the
was
mean?
going
stronger
to ask
unit now.
about. I was
They're the
going to
stronger
ask
unit.
you. I thought you were going to say something about Q. I was about to ask you if Q's better start lining up against ones.
He should.
He
I mean,
He
might.
might, he should,
He
right?
might.
Like he
plays hurt.
should.
I don't see why we wouldn't do that because I mean this guy's got every indication that he's that
He's the real
dude,
deal.
yo.
Yeah,
He's
he's the real deal.
balling. Like
He's
he's
balling.
legit. I also like Cooper DeJohn, you know, like he kind of stepped in. I was a little nervous
Yeah.
about him being his first game, and you know you kind of throw him into the fire, but he seems like a nice rover player. Like I'll say, I didn't really notice him in coverage too much, but I like that. I like the way Fangio used him. I like the way he brought him up to the line of scrimmage, let him blitz a couple times. I think he got home for half a sack or maybe even a full sack, and
Yeah,
then a
half
couple
sack,
rushes
half
on
sack.
top of that. So I mean, the secondary, and then you got Sidney Brown. You got to think coming back, he's itching. I can tell that dude's itching to play some ball. So yeah, man. I mean,
I feel like Slay is on his way out. He's trying to set himself up to do stuff other after football. I feel like he's on his way out. I feel like those young boys are out there. They're hungry. They're tired of smack being talked about them. Like they talked earlier today about them playing with a chip on their shoulder. Now, when they played New Orleans, they were pissed because people were talking about them, like how garbage they are, how trash they are. When they came out of that New Orleans game, they came out like nobody's going to talk about us like that. And then they got too big head and they got ahead of themselves, and then they came out and left that turd in Tampa. So
I kind of want to throw that game out. Honestly, I don't even want to
yeah,
like think about that
so
game.
I think
That
as long as they keep that edge, I think that's what this week was kind of about. Like they have to find something that motivates them, find something that makes them mad, find something that people are saying that makes them play with that aggression. And I think those young dudes, like I was happy to not see Maddox out there. Like I don't want to ever see Maddox out there again, ever.
Poor
Go
Maddox.
play Fortnite. Yeah, go ahead and play some
Go
Fortnite, buddy.
go play Fortnite. I
Poor
don't want to see him
Maddox.
out there.
Nah,
The only thing I don't like. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say the only thing I don't like about having a rookie in the slot is like that's where CeeDee Lamb lines up, and that's where he kills us every year. But it doesn't matter because the Cowboys aren't that great this year anyway, so it doesn't
scheme that
matter.
up, bro.
Dak
Like
is
I
gonna
Not
throw
this.
a pick. Go ahead.
you can scheme that up. I mean, I feel like people always try and spam that, putting the primary wideout in the slot, but like the Cowboys do it so much that I feel like you can really account for that for real. You know,
They
so
never do. I always watch those games wondering why the heck is this guy on
why
CeeDee
is
Lamb?
they just letting him? Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's the philosophy. We'll have to see how Fangio approaches it. I know some people like the Patriots in the past years are like that guy's not beating us, so you can throw it to anyone else, but. And then other guys are like, well, he's going to do what he's going to do, but you know, if that guy's going to go for 300 yards and you guys win, then so be it. But we're going to let him do whatever. So
And that's exactly what Bill Belichick was saying last night on Monday Night Football. He was like, why are they not playing Wilson? Wilson is the guy that they need to worry about. Why are they not double
right.
teaming him? Why are they not doing this? And like, it's just not rocket science.
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are so funny when they try and make like complicated parts of football sound so simple. Like that clip when Brady was like, quarterbacking is at an all-time low. He was like, I see a quarterback snap the ball and throw a such and such in a cover two. Well, or run this play in a cover two. Well, if you see that they're in cover two, why are you even in that play? Get out of that play. And it's like, all right, bro. Like I'm sure if it was that simple, like no quarterback would do that.
That's the
Like you
point.
guys have to cover Garrett Wilson. Just double him. It's like, all right, yeah.
Low key though. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get how Garrett Wilson's just going off, yo. Like they don't have any other receivers. Like if Lazard's gonna catch Hail Marys, okay.
That was his
But
point. That he's like,
Garrett
why are they
Wilson is
not double
not
teaming
just
this
running
guy? Why
slants.
did
Yeah,
like yeah?
I'm with him on that. This guy's not just running slants and digs all day and catching the ball, dog. Like that's crazy.
And every time they would throw it to him, he was like, there they go again. Like I just don't understand this. I don't get it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
Anyway.
mean, that was the game. What do you guys think about now? There's a whole bunch of stuff to unpack about after the game. First, I guess we can start with Sirianni. So I've heard multiple things, right? So I think, and it was weird because he addressed it in a certain way that kind of made it look a certain way. But I guess for context, so Sirianni was seen at the end of the game popping smack to a fan. It looked like he was giving him the Hulk Hogan, like, where you at now? Where's all that smack talk now? Blah, blah, blah. Media took it and ran with it. People are calling for his head. And this was in response to the fans saying, fire Nick at halftime. So they were saying fire Nick at halftime. Then the Eagles win. Sirianni starts popping his smack. It then came out. So then he goes up on the podium. He at first says, I was just having fun, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't even care about that. The next day he comes back and he's like, I want to apologize. There's a certain demeanor that a head coach needs to have, and I didn't have that, so my bad. Moving forward, I have to have better temperament. Now, the story that came out is supposedly the fan that he was talking to made a Reddit post, and he was like, I just want to clear the air up that it wasn't any hostility, or he wasn't like telling me to shut up or anything. It was, I was like, Saquon had a 5-yard run him again, run him again. And he was like, calm down, like, we're going to get Saquon the ball. I know that, blah, blah, blah. And so after they either got a first down or, they won the game was sealed. And he was like, I told you we'd do it. I told you we blah, blah, blah. So that's a lot. I know that was a lot to follow, but I guess twofold. What was y'all's initial reaction to Sirianni if he was heckling a fan? And then two, do you believe any truth to it not being what everybody was making it out to be and the media was making it out to be?
So first of all, I'll start because this is my thing.
You couldn't
So
wait. Taking your shot to get this one.
so so my initial reaction was like good for Nick because I'm tired of the fan base beating this team up no matter what. Like whether we win, whether we lose, whether they play well, it's a close game, is it not close game? Like it doesn't matter. These guys get beat up, and he always says, "I understand. I'm one of the leaders of the team. Me and Jalen are the leaders of this team. We're gonna take the most criticism. We get that, you know." When I saw BG in that shot laughing, you know what I mean? Like when I saw Nick like smiling, he was kind of like doing that with his ear. I knew it was jovial, but what he apologized for was not jawing at the fan. He apologized for people taking it the wrong way. Like if I rubbed people the wrong way by doing that, I apologize. I have to take a different, more mature approach. That a lot of people didn't like that. So that wasn't the only thing people didn't like. They didn't like the fact that he had his kids on the podium too, because they felt like he was about to get
Come on,
grilled.
guys.
They felt like he was about to get grilled, and he used his kids as a shield to keep the media from asking him any hard questions about
Those
why they.
journalists, those
Yeah.
journalists different than me because I don't care who at the podium with him. Your kids gonna hear. Your kids are gonna hear.
They're
And
like,
what
how are we
Mike
supposed
Dirt?
to ask? They're like, how are
What
we
you
supposed
mean?
to
What are you
Mike
ask
supposed to
you?
Dirt
ask?
makes it
Ask
about
the
the kids, bro. That is terrible. I mean, that is just embarrassing. Philly media needs to be ashamed of themselves. If that is the narrative they're running with, that is terrible. Like I
It's not
wouldn't
just the
even,
Philly media. First Take was going crazy on
because the kids were
Sirianni.
on there.
Yeah.
I think they said something about the kids being on there on
Oh
First
my
Take. They were like,
god,
"You're going to
bro.
jog to the fans and then bring your kids on the podium." I'm like, and
To
I don't even
shield
like
you.
Sirianni,
They
but
said
like,
Yo.
they said the kids were a shield. So Nick Sirianni was on the radio today, this morning, and they asked him, why did you bring the kids up there? And he said,
He said
yeah, he said, um, football was such a big part of my life growing up. My father was able to incorporate that into my life. I was able to be there with my dad after school and blah, blah, blah. He's like, my kids don't get to see that with me much. I don't get many opportunities to do that with my kids. And I love them and I want to share some of the things with them. So I decided to bring them up there this time. Like, so they said, well, the way you're answering this, it makes it seem like you're going to do it again. He's like, I might. Like, and they were just appalled by that. Like, I can't believe I didn't like that answer. Like, he can't be. Everybody wants to bring their kids to work, but you don't get to bring your kids to work. Like, that's just ridiculous. That's not what a head coach does. How are you supposed to?
I
How
thought
are
that was
the?
a normal thing.
people do it all the time. That's why I'm like flabbergasted right now, yo. Like, what? You know how many sound bites there's been of people with their kids up there, and
Yeah,
like
They
they
and
make
they
these
act
kids
like he
stars.
lost the game. Like I can see that we lost the game, but we won. So I
exactly.
I just don't I don't get it. But that's where they're going with it, and it really aggravates me. And you know I
And not for nothing, but this is the first time he could have even done that. Like, if you want to try and use the narrative of why haven't you done it before? First game was in Brazil. Second game they lost. Third
mhm.
game, you know what I mean, was in New Orleans. Fourth game was in Tampa. Then we had the bye week, and now it's like not only is it like pressure's on, but you put it together. You got the dub, and now it's like, all right, come on, guys. Like, yes,
And
come on
it's
here. I want you
home.
guys to.
It's a home game.
And that's what I'm
So
saying. It's at the link, so it's like it's your first home win, and he just wanted his kids. That is like, yo, I'm like, I need a Nick Sirianni T-shirt or something after this because like I just don't get why I'm gonna have to be this guy's rider, yo. Like, why do people hate Nick Sirianni so much?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Sirianni, but I don't know. They're letting the dislike of him as a football coach like blind them and and try and paint everything he does as
They're
being
just doing
bad,
too much.
which is insane.
They're
Me
doing too much.
personally, the yelling at the crowd thing, I wasn't crazy about it because it's like, okay, you want them to stop, maybe coach better. And that's my only thing is like I still don't think there was anything in this game that makes me walk away thinking Sirianni's a good coach. But like, yeah, trying to criticize every little thing he does into, you know what I'm saying, bullying him into getting fired is whack. It's very corny to
I
me.
disagree. I think it was a well coached game, actually. I think, first of all, the first thing that I'm going to say is Devontae Smith's touchdown was a clear indication of good coaching. Because if you watch the interview where he talked about that play being an integral part of everything he's done as a coach, that mesh concept. And if you see how wide open Smith got, it was just, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, this guy didn't have anybody within 10 yards of him. So that play alone should let you know that that was a beautiful, perfectly called, perfectly executed play. We've seen it go wrong where offensive pass interference gets called. We've seen guys not be able to get open, but it was perfect. Touchdown, 50-yard touchdown. Aside from that, I think the utilization of the tush push was finally in full effect. And I love that even in the first quarter, and it's the same thing where, you know, he's bold, but it didn't work in the other games. But in this game, double down on it. It's the first quarter. We're on our own 40-yard line. It's 4th and 1. Going for it. Tush push. We're going to get half a yard, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like little things like that that just build confidence within the team. And then after that, it was the case. Anytime it was 1 or less, tush push. We're using it, and we're getting it. And we got it every time. I don't know. I think...
People can't stand that either. They just don't like anything that he does. And so I
And
feel
then on
bad for the
top of
guy.
that, he gets up on the podium and he's like, I'm not taking credit for any of it. Kellen Moore called a great game. Vic Fangio called a great game. The only thing I did was mess up. And then, as you know, we found out today that wasn't even true. Fangio got up and was like, yeah, I don't know why he said that. Like, I did. So, like, bro.
I know good and well Fangio ain't letting that man call nary a play.
Yeah, not on defense, right? Like, nah.
No, good and well.
So I don't know, bro. I mean, the only thing that I'll say is we got to get some diversity on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think Dotson is butt, yo.
I've been saying that.
He got one target and he had like a 13-yard catch on it, or he got a first down, whatever it was.
Yeah,
but I watched it and
catches.
I'm like, yo, he doesn't look like slow or anything. Like he doesn't look bad. Why don't we use this guy?
I saw a replay, but that's why I said what I said. You guys kind of brushed it off. I said what I said after the Tampa Bay game because I saw on a replay. I'm like looking at what the receiver is doing, and I see Dotson. And he ran like a pretty good route. And I'm like, Jalen Rager used to look slow. He just looked bad. Like he looked garbage. Like Dotson doesn't look terrible. I'm just like, why is he not throwing him the ball? Like I feel like that's a quarterback thing. Like, yo, throw him the ball.
It's a chemistry thing. It's a chemistry.
What are you doing?
He came mid-season.
Okay. So. Okay.
That's fair. No, the chemistry thing, because that's a real thing. Like you can kind of see, even in the beginning of the game, you could kind of see Jalen and AJ just knocking off some runs. There was
their back shoulder.
Like a back shoulder, and then there was a fade that he missed him on. He was open. I was hot that first. I was like, yo, that was a touchdown, dog. And then they got together. But I agree. I mean, I hope to see Dotson have at least one game where he has his breakout and he's worth the trade. But I mean,
probably when we play his former team, when we play the Commanders, he's gonna break out. It's like this week when we play the Giants, Saquon gonna have that breakout game. Saquon gonna light it up this week. Oh, I'm telling you, watch out for Saquon. Watch out. What about the tight end when Dallas Goedert went out? Was his name Terra? Yeah. He did pretty good.
He made his a little bit. Yo, he was scooting on that one catch.
He's fast.
I was like, he's moving, dog.
No, that's his thing. He's a receiving tight end. He was actually supposed to be pretty highly picked, but he had to retire in college. But he's fat. He can run.
He had some buzz. He's had some buzz for a couple years.
Yeah. I just have a question about Dallas Goedert. Like, is Dallas Goedert that good? Like, are we just souping him up because he's an Eagles tight end, or is he like average? Like,
I think
like
when Dallas Goedert gets the ball thrown to him, he delivers 90% of the time. I don't think Dallas Goedert is bad though.
Dallas Goedert is solid though.
I said average. I don't know if he's above average. Is he above average?
No, he's very above average. I don't think you realize how bad tight ends are around the NFL, and how good Dallas Goedert is.
Okay.
I think Goedert.
I know that's what people have been saying.
Can you name 8 tight ends better than him?
I mean, Kelsey. I think Ferguson is better than him. I think
that's insane. Absolutely insane.
Ferguson?
No, I'm not just saying that because Ferguson has been
okay.
He's not better than Goedert.
Wildly insane.
I think Ferguson would be better if he had a non-turnover machine quarterback. Like
he has a quarterback that throws 45 times a game. He gets 10 targets a game.
You're not gonna loop Jalen in with Dak. Justin, stop it. That stinks.
I'm just saying, like a turnover machine quarterback's not the hill to die on right now.
He's
all
not
I'm
wrong.
saying is he's not wrong, but all I'm saying is I like Ferguson. I think Ferguson's a good tight end. I have him
Well,
on
that's
my
I mean, I
two.
think he's
fantasy team.
fine, but he's not better than Goddard. Like
That's
what?
two though.
I
I
think he
mean,
is.
that's only two.
All right, that's two.
Okay, that's two. All right. So no, I can't name seven. That's a lot. Like, gee whiz, that's
Yes, that's the
Definitely
three
not
third
quarters of the
putting
league.
league.
So you
definitely not
know the
putting Dalton
third.
mid-Cade above him on the Bills.
You said what?
I said I'm definitely not putting Dalton mid-Cade on over him.
Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, exactly.
Mid-Cade, Dalton mid-Cade.
Yeah, I don't care.
That guy stinks.
Not
He
putting
is
him. Not putting Pitts over him. Not putting Evan
nope.
Ingram.
Ooh, I might do Pitts.
Njoku.
I might do Pitts. Ingram's good too. I don't see how he's head and shoulders above all those guys. Is what I'm saying. Like
Ingram
he's mid
maybe.
range.
I might give you Ingram. I might give you Ingram. I'm not giving you Pitts. Pitts was like on the cover of Twitter basically for how bad he was separating. Like I think PFF had like a grade where he was like negative yards of separation on coverages for the first 3-4 weeks. So we'll see about that guy. But
To me, we'll see about Goddard too. I don't think Goddard's that great. I put him as average. Like I think Zach Ertz was better than. I think Zach Ertz is better than him. He's on the
Zach
Commanders now.
Ertz
I
is an
think.
Eagle Hall of Famer. Like,
Yeah,
Zach
but he's
Ertz
still
isn't better than
playing.
him.
I mean, he's still
What?
playing. He's playing on the
yo,
Commanders, and
you're
he's doing.
tripping, bro. Zach Ertz
I
in his
don't know.
prime was
Yeah, in his prime, but not now.
not now, but in his prime is
He's still
insane
doing
to
all
say
right
Goddard.
now.
Yeah,
Ertz was
he's
a
doing
number
all
one.
right.
Ertz was a number one target on our team when he was in his prime.
Yes, I'm talking about when he's playing now. He's on the Commanders right now. He's
I,
still doing all
if
right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, if we had AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, he was not gonna be no number one target either.
No, but it would have been like having Travis Kelce, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith. Like it would have been. He was
I think
nice
what
though.
gets overlooked is how much Carson Wentz likes tight ends because whenever Zach Ertz was hurt, Goddard would do the same thing Ertz did.
Not true.
That's research. That's
Go
a
ahead.
research point.
That because you're bugging. Like
Look,
I don't know why we're on this tight end.
hey,
But
I got the iPad right here on me.
go ahead, bro, because you're talking crazy right now. Ertz was routing people up, bro. Like Ertz was getting open.
Ertz was nice, but I think, like I said, Wentz liked tight ends. That was Goddard. Like I said, whenever Ertz wasn't playing, he did the same thing Ertz did.
Well, while you look that up, Ma, we can flip the page. So Eagles go to MetLife next week to take on the 2-4 New York Giants, who have some fire in their organization of their own. Coming off a tough loss to the Bengals that felt winnable, where Daniel Jones just continues to disappoint the fans. So, what do you think about the game coming up on Sunday?
Well, I think that the Giants always play us hard. The divisional game, it doesn't matter if they have not won a game all season. When they play up to for divisional games, especially the Eagles. Their defense doesn't look that bad, honestly. If I'm watching them, I'm like, damn, the defense looks all right. Their offense still struggles. I think they're getting Neighbors back this week. He missed 2 weeks for a concussion protocol, which was weird to me, but I think they get him back, and their offense definitely looks better with Neighbors. I just think it's going to be a hard fought win. I know that people feel like we should be able to blow this Giants team out, but I don't think the Giants are as bad as people are making them out to be, and I think it's going to be a hard fought win, but I think in the end we do have the better team and the better quarterback, and we should be able to pull out a win. We're only like 3.5 or 3 point favorites, so
Yeah,
I
it's
think
only 3. No
yeah.
one thinks that's what I
So
was gonna say. Everyone actually expects it to be close.
yeah. So
But
I feel like
what
we
I'll say
win. I feel like
is,
this is a Saquon game. I feel like Saquon is gonna go bananas this game, and I think they're gonna let him. I think they're gonna feed Saquon.
I think you're going to find out who Dexter Lawrence is.
yeah, and Brian Burns and all them guys.
Yeah, defense
But
is
I will
good.
say that I don't think. I mean, I feel like we've had the Giants numbered. I looked at it in the history. Last year they beat us in January, but that was the first win that they've had in the last 6 games. Before that, the Eagles had won 5 in a row with a couple of blowouts, notable blowouts: a 38-7 blowout, a 48-22 blowout, a 34-10 blowout. So I
That's when they thought
mean,
they were good. We
that's
beat
what
the
I'm saying. That's when
brakes off of them.
we were just beating the brakes off of them. So I'll say that. What I feel like is this is a Nick Sirianni game. I think Jalen got the elephant off his back. He had a nice, clean, solid game. I think he's good now. But I think this is the Nick Sirianni game because the Giants might not have the talent, but they have the coaching. Dable is a good coach. He's got them boys fired up. He you know what I mean, understands the moment. I think this is one of those games where he's telling them like, we can't go to 2-5, yo. You know what I mean? Like
And 0 and
obviously in
3
their
in the
locker room
division. If they lose
and
this
0-3
game,
in
it's
the
0 and
division.
3 in the division.
Exactly. So all that to say, like, for us on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, the Giants stink. They're 2-4. The Eagles should win. Blah blah blah. But to them, they don't really stink yet. Like they're still trying to fight for a playoff spot, division crown, all that stuff. So I expect the Giants to definitely come out swinging. I expect them to be prepared. I expect a sharp game plan and a sharp game from Daniel Jones with a quick passing attack. I think the Eagles are actually very susceptible there because we've complained about corners being 10 yards off the ball, and the Browns actually had some opportunities that they missed. I think even the first drive of the game, like they had a chance at a first down and Cooper dropped it. You know what I mean? So I think if Sirianni is the coach of the future, we win. But I think if he's not, if he's who Justin says he is and who Eagles, journalism says he is, then this is a trap game for sure. I think this is one where we come on next Monday or Tuesday with the Boo Birds.
Last week was the trap game. Cleveland was the trap game. This week is everybody knows it's a divisional game. Is going to be tough. This is not a trap game. This is going to be a tough
I think
one.
Cleveland just stinks.
I think Deshaun Watson is legit the worst quarterback we've played against in a few years.
And
in a few years,
I agree with you. And he still went 11 for 11 at one point. He still had 11 straight completions. Like in the second half, it almost looked like he remembered how to play football for a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
true.
That's why I'm like, especially Neighbors. What I will say though is I'm excited for Neighbors versus Q, yo.
That's what I was about to say. That was about to be my point. Neighbors versus Q.
Popcorn. That should be popcorn. And you gotta let them line up on them. They're both rookies. Like, come on.
Oh, I need that.
As long as we win that, though, I want to win that. I want to see it, but I also want to win it. Like, I don't want my boy Q looking all like.
Use me as a need that. Q's been waiting for this. I think that's the thing about him is he's been waiting for something like this. Like if I don't know if you follow him, he obviously he went to Toledo or whatever. He went to Toledo, right? Yeah, he went to Toledo, small school, whatever. And the reason why his draft stock went so high is because everybody was like, well, let's see what he does at the Senior Bowl. And it was like he was literally waiting for that moment his whole life, like to go up against higher competition, people that played in the Power 4 or whatever, or the Power 5 it was back then. But yeah, people that played in the Power 5, he was strapping people at that, like strapping people at the Senior Bowl. And that's why he shot up to be a first-round corner. So, like, he's ready for it. He's not scared of nobody. You see him go against Mike Evans. He's not scared. He's ready for it. He wants to go against big-name receivers, especially another rookie. So, this is going to be one of them ones. This is going to be one of them. Q is the literal only player on defense that I have confidence in every week. Everybody else, I don't know who we're going to get. But Q, I know we are getting Q every single week.
You keep knocking Dean, bro. I want you to let Dean rock, bro. Like,
that's what everybody keeps saying. Like, everybody keeps saying Dean is playing so terrible. I don't see it. Like,
I disagree with that. I think people get stuff in their heads and they kind of run with it. I think Dean has been playing fine, but he plays bad with the rest of the team. When the rest of the team is playing bad, Dean is also playing bad. When the rest of the team is playing good, he's also playing good. I think everybody on defense is collectively butt and good when, you know what I'm saying, with each other. I think, like I said, Q is the only one that looks like he wants to play every single week.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like when they're bad, Dean is the guy that's like making not the play, but stopping the bleeding, if that makes sense, right?
That's what I think about. I think you mean on a play. Like, if a play is bad, Dean's the one that...
So if it's like, yo, is anybody going to tackle this guy? It's like, thank you, Dean. Thank you for, after 15 yards of this guy breaking 4 tackles, thank you for finally doing it. Like,
did you see that?
And I feel like you need that. At middle linebacker, you need that. He's got to be a dependable tackler first. And I feel like Dean, so far, so good, man. It's only 6 weeks, long season. He's got to hold up. But I think you need to... watch some more Nakobe Dean film, bro. He's not playing.
Nobody wants Nakobe Dean to be good as much as I do. I just know that he's not one of those players. Like I said, to me, when the rest of the defense is playing bad, he's also playing bad. And that's the easiest way to. I don't trust anybody on the defense except for Mr. Number 27.
Real quick, I forgot to do this. What do you guys think the Browns' record is going to be end of the season?
They won 1 game, 14. So that's it. That's it for them. 1 game.
Dang, 1-16.
Nah, actually, you know what? They're playing Cincinnati this week, and I was like, 2 Ohio teams, like they're kind of mad about losing that game. They might squeak out an upset this week, but then I think that's it. That's it. I'm
going to be honest with you. Like I said, I think Deshaun Watson is probably one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen in a while. It's going to be hard, and they're not going to bench him. It's going to be hard to win with him. 3-14.
Oh my goodness. Yo, that is...
They just traded Amari Cooper. Well, Amari Cooper was also contributing to the problem.
Oh, yeah, he was not good. I just said I think he led the league in drops or something like
by
that.
a mile.
But that is crazy. Yo, his fall off does need to be studied though. Deshaun Watson, what happened, man? That guy used to be like he was one of them ones. I would think that he would be on the evolution of the black quarterback before I guess the
That's what
scandal was I
they
guess
be
it was
getting the
true.
yips. They be getting the yips. You can't get out of that brain prison.
Yeah. Or the allegations are true. And God don't like ugly. So
The
that's the only
allegations,
other thing I could
the,
think of.
the
Like if it ain't
allegations might be true, and that could still like having that out in public, even if you're denying it, can still mess you up mentally. Like
yeah.
if you're not all the way there, it's just not going to be there.
So you
Yeah,
That's what
said
I
it's
always think about
2014.
the. I always think about the movie we watched with KD about his talent getting stolen. Whenever something like this happens,
thunderstruck.
I always just.
It's like that. No, it feels
Somebody
like it,
stole his
yo.
powers.
It does. It feels like somebody sapped his powers away because that dude used to be nice, bro. He's just
Deshaun
like
Watson used to be different. I used to
he's
love
not.
Deshaun Watson.
He used to be breaking tackles, and it's just I don't know though. And to watch Stroud go to be in Houston and just be balling now, that's got to be eat that, yo. But I was looking at it like, and then you look at the roster too, because I was looking at the trade, and I'm like, dang, Cooper goes to the Bills. That's gonna be nice. And I'm like, yo, Judy's probably like, it's like, bro, why
Don't
wouldn't it
leave
me, dog?
me. Yes.
Why wouldn't it me? Like, it should have been me. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It
that
should
sounds
have been
juicy.
me. That's got to be Jerry Judy right now, yo. But so okay, so you said 30-14. Mom said 2-15 for the Cleveland Browns.
So what you
I'm gonna
think?
say they get at least 5 wins, bro. I'm gonna say
Okay,
5-12.
that's fair.
But who do you have them beating though? Like I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but who is worse than them that you have them beating? Unless they play like
Yeah,
Carolina or somebody.
I mean they're gonna have to face a team with zero pass rush because even the Eagles who have zero pass rush got 5 sacks. So like it's gonna have to actually be. And Nick Chubb is coming back soon too, so I think that'll help a little bit.
Nick Chubb with the jelly knees.
He might even, yeah. I mean, if
I
he's
think
coming
Nick
back,
Chubb has torn every muscle in both knees that you can tear.
he can still squat 700.
Can he? Are you sure he can still?
I mean, all indications are he can. But
Oh.
okay, so back to the Giants game. So mom said she thinks it's Saquon. I think it's a Sirianni game. What do you think, Justin? What's your preview?
Um, I think I don't know. This is one of those games where I just think we have to win. I think we have to, like you said, not play down to the competition. Like I don't want to see no
They're not
turnovers.
bad. I don't think it's even that. The
I,
Giants are not. They're well coached. I
I
think
think the Giants are terrible. I think their quarterback holds them back so much.
that is. I think the Giants are a quarterback away, which is kind of scary. I hate
Okay,
to say it, but
okay.
if Jones comes out and plays a sharp game, if they put a game plan together and he executes, especially given he's going to be
But
feeling the fire from that loss.
anybody who's watched 4 quarters of Giants football knows that Daniel Jones is not throwing the ball past 20 yards. So if we let Daniel Jones just keep, maybe it's a Vic Fangio game, because we let Daniel Jones just keep dinking it and dunking it like he likes to do, I'm going to throw my remote at my television set because I can't stand watching that. I cannot stand it.
But that's what the Giants do. They grind you
I
out. They
can't
run the
stand it.
ball.
If
They
Malik
get you
Neighbors is
punts.
catching a 2 yard pass and then breaking everybody's tackle because nobody
Oh
wants to
yeah.
play that day, I'm going to lose my mind. And I wasn't going to say mind. I'm going to lose my stuff.
Yes.
So Vic Fangio game or
Vic
defense?
Fangio game.
Vic Fangio or defense?
Defense. Everybody's got to make the tackles. Everybody's got
Hey, yeah,
to
Vic
Players
everything.
Fangio
play.
and
Just
defense.
defense
Players play.
all the way around. All the way around. Just everything. Coaching, players, everything.
Yeah, I
Play
don't
some
want to see a
defense.
sleepwalking defensive unit. And the Giants have a pretty good O line too. They actually have a very good O line.
Andrew Thomas out for the year though.
Oh, is he? That's rough.
Yeah.
Didn't see that. I saw that he was hurt. I didn't know it was that.
He's definitely not playing against us, but I'm pretty sure I saw he's out for the year. So
Yeah, well, maybe number 0 can get a pressure. Another one.
he has half a sack. He got half a sack last game.
No, he
I don't
didn't.
know when they gave him that, but
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
that was
didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
Did
Maybe
we
it was
talk
a
about
mob
Devin
sack
White
we
getting
got.
released?
Yeah,
Did
we
we talk
talked about
about
that
that?
last week.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of nervous about that. I feel like he's gonna go somewhere else and do well. I don't
He has not gone anywhere yet.
Yeah.
know. Okay.
What I
All
will
right.
say though is Hassan Reddick.
We can't trade for him.
Why?
It's against the
Because we'll
rules.
get
You
You
can't
can't get him
go
back.
back to back like that.
Oh,
pause.
okay. I was about to say I
But
saw that today. Like the Jets gave
but
him
if
a window to look for a trade. I was like,
but if they
Hey,
do
the
trade him
Giants
to
would
an
go for it.
NFC team, if he does get traded to an NFC team, we do get a second round pick.
oh, nice.
So
Okay.
Now that is good. That's a good deal.
For a guy that doesn't play, I'll take that. Well, all right. I mean, anything else? Any other gossip, Ma? Anything that we didn't cover?
No, that was all the Nick Sirianni. Oh, I'll close with this though about that whole Nick Sirianni thing. What I did see that was different, a little bit different, is that the whole entire team, Nick Sirianni, he may have lost the city, but he did not lose the locker room. Those guys, those players, they love their coach and they are going to war for him. They are having his back on this. They are understanding. Brandon Graham said, "Listen, I know how hard the city can be on you, on people. I felt it, and if I was him, I probably would have done the same thing, you know." And but all of them have all of them have his back. And so, as long as he
I
hasn't
do
lost the
too.
locker room, then they're gonna play for him. So I'm
That's half the
happy for him.
battle, and I give credit where credit is due. Half the battle is making sure you have the locker room, and I don't think he's lost the locker room. I don't. I just think he's a bad coach.
This is a jerk, yo.
I
Not a bad
just
coach.
think he's
That's
just
crazy.
not football smart. I don't know. He's
Yeah,
not. I won't say not football smart.
he's actually pretty football smart.
He's
He's
football
not.
smart, but I feel like he would be a better college coach than he is NFL coach. Like I just
I
don't think
see
he's
that.
innovative enough. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think he has the innovative mind or
I
something
don't
that
think
Atlanta
you like
has.
him because he's the same. He's a motivator, but he's not a Dan Campbell or a Mike Tomlin. You know what I mean? He's not like a former player, in your face, tough guy, macho guy. He's like a Guido. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like he's
yes.
like yo, screw
That's
this
why he's
dude. I
so
think he
Philly.
is.
He's
Like,
so Philly to me. He is so Philly. That's why the fans don't like him because they see themselves in him. But Justin, you know who he
right,
reminds
good
me
job.
of is Friday Night Lights coach. That's who he reminds me of.
Who,
Coach
Eric
Taylor?
Taylor?
Coach
Coach
Taylor was not anywhere near as
Coach
no.
Taylor. The team loved
No.
him. They wanted to play for him. Like good coach and everything. Everybody was like
Coach
downing
Taylor is
him. The
like
city.
no.
They
Sean
fired
Payton. Coach
him.
Eric
They
Taylor,
they
Sean
dumped
Payton.
him off into the low school and made him fend his.
Nick
They were like,
Saban.
you were never supposed to take this job, and he just built that team up and all that. Like I
Everything
think
you just said is Sean Payton, yo. I'm telling you, that's
I can't
Sean
stand
Payton.
Sean Payton. Ever since I ain't gonna lie, I bought it.
What?
Ever since I seen Sean Payton yelling at Russell Wilson like that on the
yeah, I don't
sideline,
like
I'm
that.
like, yeah, I
Nope,
don't really rock with him
didn't like it.
because it's
Didn't like it.
like
And even
That's
I
because of
don't
a
even
coach
like
he
Russell
is.
Wilson. I don't like Russell Wilson, but I didn't like that either. Nah,
I don't
I'm
like
good
that.
off that.
I don't like that.
That's Sean
Don't
Payton,
be
yo.
disrespectful. I don't like if you want respect, you give respect. Like don't treat people like that.
He's one of them old school coaches, yo. I'm telling you, and that's
I
that's what
don't
they want
care. That's
Sirianni
a
to
grown
be.
man.
But
Yeah,
he's
but
not.
that's
Sirianni's
different.
the new school where sunflowers waiting to bloom, but then he categorizes himself as a motivator. You know what I mean? And it's like, gosh, shut up, dog. Like he's like, guys, I want you to be hungry and humble. I'm raising my kids on it, and they see that and they're like, oh my, ew, like. But
Corny,
he look,
yeah.
he's spitting, yo, and like I don't know. I'm
And
just saying, like, there's
they
36.
are
Like
picking
I
up what
said,
he's putting down. His locker room is picking up what he's putting down, and that's the
Yeah,
most
I
important
don't
part.
think. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think he's a better. I think that's more suited for college. Like I think as a college football coach, you do that, and you have your tried and true scheme that works, and like you build a dynasty that way. But
That's
like,
what got us
yeah, to me, it's
to the
just
Super
the
Bowl.
lack of innovation. Like I just don't think he brings enough to the table. I
He
don't know,
doesn't, but it's
schematically.
okay. He's
you
not the
miss
only
Andy
coach that
Reid.
doesn't, and he's smart
That's
enough to
all.
give it to his coordinators. I think I think he's smart enough to give the bulk of the
But
responsibility to his
I
coordinators.
think
Yeah,
that's part of the problem, though, is I don't think he. I don't know. I just don't think he gets the right people. Like I don't think Kellen Moore is a good match with Jalen Hurts. Like you hear people all the time talk about, well, why isn't Jalen under center? That's what Kellen Moore likes to do. I don't think this is Kellen Moore's offense. And it's like, bro, when have you ever seen Jalen from college to the NFL take a snap under center? Why the heck would they just start doing that now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just don't think that was really a great decision, a great match. You know, it's still out to be seen how they mesh and how they gel. But like,
Well,
yeah,
Kellen Moore
stuff
said
like
today that
picking
he
an
doesn't have
offensive
him under center.
coordinator, huh?
Kellen Moore said today why they don't have him under center is because it's
Yeah,
harder
he
for him
basically
to
said
do
what
the
I
run
said. When
plays.
have you ever
Yeah.
seen Jalen Hurts under center ever?
Well, because he said it's harder for him to have those run option plays under center. So
Exactly.
like,
Which is
but
like,
anyway,
I just feel like if you want to pick a guy that's going to craft the offense around your personnel, you would know better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like you would just have a better match for that.
you
But
just miss
that's
Andy
neither here nor
Reid,
there.
bro. That's
Huh?
all. I said you just miss Andy Reid, which is understandable. I think every
Yeah.
night, how do we let that guy walk out of the building, bro? He's
Yeah.
probably
you
gonna
know
go down
why?
as the
Because
best coach of all time.
this city did the
Yeah.
same thing to him that they're doing to
And
Nick
that's why I
Sirianni.
got Nick's back, bro, because I'm not about to have this happen again. We don't appreciate things when they're here. And this guy is a winning head coach. Take it and just shut up. Like, we have not missed the playoffs since he's been here. Stop making stuff bad when it's not bad. You know what I'm
We
saying?
also
Like,
have the best roster since he's been here,
yo,
dog.
that doesn't
So
make any like
what?
that's so corny to me,
It
bro.
doesn't
Because
matter.
it's not even about that. Jalen Hurts was not a highly touted prospect. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Smith, they thought he was too small. Dallas Goedert was a second round pick. Jordan Mailata was playing rugby in Australia. And now all of a sudden it's like this roster is just, bro, they're professional athletes, dog. Like everybody's good. It's a matter of coaching, it's a matter of execution, it's a matter of the little things. So like this whole Eagles roster is loaded and blah blah blah. I hate that, yo. Because we've seen talented rosters. Look at the Jaguars. Jaguars are not that bad, bro, to be 1-5 like they are. You know what I'm saying? So like just that gets me heated. I'm sorry. I don't like that, bro.
Don't
The
penalize
talented
the
roster.
team for having talent. Don't penalize.
And
Every team
then,
that's good has talent. And
no, but
even the
then
teams
you're
that are
going to turn
bad have
around.
talent.
It's not about that. That's when you look at it on paper. When you're looking at it on paper, yeah, you could be like, okay, you can't penalize a team for having talent. But it's like when you watch the games, it's like I don't look at the game and see too many plays where it's like, man, that was a real good play. Like I did when Steichen was here, where I was like, oh, that was a good play. Hey, that was a good play. Like they drew it up perfect. You know what I'm
I
saying? How did we
disagree.
lose the Super Bowl? The Chiefs didn't have a better roster than us. They ran that stupid motion play, and Sky Moore walked into the end zone 2 times. You want to know why? Because they were better coached.
All right. So
That's
you just
true.
proved 2 points.
Yeah,
Because we
nobody's
just
saying.
saw a play that was schemed open for a 50-yard touchdown last week. So, all right, we're getting there. And two, people play both sides of the coin because they're like, oh, this talented roster, this and that. And then you have Bryce Huff, who has 0 sacks through 5 weeks. You have Devin White that's getting cut after, a quarter of the season. And then it's like, what an idiot. What a bad sign. Why would you put your faith into that? Why would you trust that? What happened to talent? What happened to, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I just think, nah, bro, you got to take that for what it's worth. You got to take that with a grain of salt because we've seen guys that won Super Bowls look terrible the next year. We've seen guys that have 10 sacks have 0. So it's a lot less about talent than what you want to make it. I mean, if the guy was not a good coach, we definitely would not have made the playoffs 4 years in a row. That's what I'll say. Definitely not. There's too much talent in the NFL to assume that it's just gotten us this far.
Okay.
And
Like, come
Justin,
on,
you
dog.
are right. Like he does get out coached. Like when we played Tampa 2 times in the playoffs, he got out straight up out coached. But
Belt 2
for the
behind.
most part,
Belt 2 behind.
he's a
39 and
winning.
17.
Exactly, he's a winning coach. He's a winning coach.
39 and
Okay.
17.
All
39
right.
and 17. I mean, you can't. You kill to be 39 and 17. Anything else? Come on now. Come on.
If that was
Context.
reversed,
Context.
Justin, you would really be killing him. But he's a winning coach. He's a winning coach, and I think people need to just.
Yeah.
But I
Like I
almost
said,
like
don't
that
think he's great.
it's us against the world. I like it. I like it. That's the way we ball out. I like it. When people start gassing us and like you said, Daniel, when people start getting paid and being on GQ magazine and all that stuff, when we start getting gassed, that's when we start playing horrible. So as long as we got that grit and we have to fight us against the world, then that's when we start balling out. So I'm thinking the
Yeah.
next part of the season is going to be all right.
The Eagles are the most toxic team in the league. That's what people are saying. That team is just
Good.
dysfunctional and toxic. I'm saying
No,
good too. And hey, Nick Sirianni, I got your back, bro. If the
me
rest of
too.
Philly doesn't got your back, just know that I do. You're a good football coach. You're a leader of men. Don't let them tell you not.
You know what
Check
I said?
Twitter. Check Twitter. Lena, check Twitter. I already wrote you, Nick. I got your back. I
Leader of
support
I'm
men.
gonna
you.
say
He's a
this.
leader of men.
I'm gonna say this. I never burn bridges. I'm always open to being converted. So I'm gonna say what I say. To everybody else, I don't favor. That's an eagle. You gonna have to show me. You gonna have to prove it to me. Let me
I
see
mean, he
it.
has.
Let me see
He
it.
wins
I don't want to
39
see
and
playoffs.
no
17.
9-8 football team. I don't want to see no. I don't want to see sneaking into the playoffs or losing to teams we shouldn't lose to. I want to just see a good football team again. I'm gonna have to see it. Let me see.
Respect. And with that, thanks everyone for tuning in. We're just a family that loves the birds. Bird's Nest over and out.
Saquonzilla.